it wasn't a crash, it just broke up in Turkey. Our trailer sort of snapped and the back of the trailer flew up and hit the back of the bus just where I was sleeping. Like there was a big dent just by my head, which was lucky, really. And subsequently, because of that, we were late going over the Turkish border and had to cancel a show in Greece. And my girlfriend was meeting me the next day in Greece, so I decided for the bus to drop me off at an airport. So I flew down to Athens overnight. So that was all a bit chaotic that evening. But yeah, things like that happen to the band all the time. It's just a weird and wonderful life.
Salve ragazzi e bentornati su videogiochitalia.it. Io sono Antonello Santopaolo e questa è la rubrica delle interviste. Per chi non ci conoscesse, in questa rubrica abbiamo l'immensa fortuna di intervistare tutte quelle personalità che si celano dietro la lavorazione di un videogioco o che comunque in un modo o nell'altro hanno a che fare con il medium che tanto amiamo. Abbiamo la fortuna di aver intervistato tantissimi attori, doppiatori, registi, illustratori, content creator e anche delle band metal. Abbiamo intervistato per esempio il frontman dei Windrose, Francesco Cavalieri, e in questa intervista abbiamo l'immensa fortuna di intervistare appunto Dani Filth del gruppo Cradle of Filth. Per chi insomma segue il metal, il genere metal e in generale il mondo della musica sicuramente apprezzerà questa famosissima e antica band che tuttora insomma suona in tutta Europa e non solo. Infatti in questa intervista parleremo anche appunto della sua tournée e appunto della data che già appunto è avvenuta a Milano e via discorrendo, insomma, della sua carriera, anche dei videogiochi. Ad aiutarmi ci sarà Gabriele Mucignat, responsabile di Videogiochi Italia, anche perché chi meglio di lui può aiutarmi, essendo appunto un musicista e tra le cose anche grande fan del genere metal. E quindi prima di iniziare vi ricordiamo di mettere un mi piace e di iscrivervi con la campanella attiva, mi raccomando ragazzi, è fondamentale. E quindi iniziamo. Buona visione.
Ciao a tutti, io sono Gabriele e aiuterò Antonello in questa video intervista ai Cradle of Filth. Parliamo di una band heavy metal britannica nata a Suffolk nel 1991 che parte da influenze prettamente black metal, a cui poi si sono aggiunte molte altre influenze più sinfoniche e gotiche. A testimoniarlo comunque tutti i loro lavori dagli anni 90 in poi. La band ha pubblicato un totale di 13 album, l'anno prossimo probabilmente ne vedremo un 14esimo a inizio nei primi mesi dell'anno. Questi album a partire dal 94 con The Principle of Evil e Made Flesh hanno comunque contribuito a generare il loro sound molto particolare, quello dei Cradle of Filth, soprattutto esponenti diciamo poi dell'unico membro rimasto in formazione, cioè Dani Filth, colui che abbiamo intervistato. Tra gli album più iconici comunque ricordiamo anche Dusk and Embrace, Cruelty and the Beast e ovviamente Midian. Tutti album diciamo intrisi di una certa mitologia e di una certa oscurità tipica poi del loro sound, che comunque si è sempre evoluto anche negli album successivi fino a quelli più recenti. Attualmente sono sotto l'etichetta Napalm Records, hanno appena pubblicato un nuovo singolo e hanno appena suonato a Milano, o meglio a Trezzo sull'Adda al Live Club, con una bella data comunque piena di persone. Quindi lascio la parola ad Antonello con le prime domande dell'intervista, poi chiaramente apparirò anch'io in alcuni spezzoni di questo video.
Come vi ha già detto Gabriele, ovviamente a parte l'intro di cui si è occupato, ovviamente sarà presente anche nell'intervista tra le varie domande. E quindi direi di iniziare con la prima domanda. Ma prima vi ricordo che qualora vi foste interessati a leggere questa video intervista nel formato scritto, vi ricordiamo di passare sul nostro sito videogiochitalia.it. Inoltre vorrei ringraziare anche Anna Delia perché si è occupata interamente della traduzione di queste interviste e anche dei sottotitoli sempre di questa video intervista. E quindi direi di iniziare con la prima domanda che, come dico spesso, è piuttosto scontata ma necessaria per conoscere i primi passi dei nostri ospiti. E quindi ti chiediamo, Dani, la vostra carriera è iniziata da oltre 30 anni. Quali pensi siano stati i momenti chiave che vi hanno permesso di mantenere una certa rilevanza nella scena metal così a lungo? Raccontaci un po'.
Way too numerous to mention. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Our whole career has been somewhat of a roller coaster, but very always on the up.
Presto rilascerete un nuovo singolo e suonerete il 20 di novembre a Milano, al Live Club. Siete contenti di ritornare in Italia a fare un concerto dopo un paio di anni?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Love the club, love the live club. Was recently in the vicinity of Milan at a friend's wedding at a castle in April. Was it April or May? One of the two. Anyway, it was fantastic. Had an amazing time. Spent quite a bit of time walking around Milan. Always loved coming back to Italy. Wish we could do more shows in Italy, in fact. I don't know why we just play Milan. Would love to go back to Florence and Rome in particular. The show's going to be incredible, so very much looking forward to it. Our Italian fans are always crazy, so it's a good thing.
Quindi ami l'Italia e hai avuto opportunità di passare più volte nel nostro paese. Anche questa volta avrai occasione di farlo in questa nuova data italiana?
No, this tour is just so full on. It's 6 weeks. It starts off in the UK and Ireland before coming across to mainland Europe. And we're on a huge tour bus because there's two bands. We're sharing our tour bus with the Butcher Babies. There's also Mental Cruelty and Black Satellite on the tour. So it's going to be a very eclectic mixture of bands and genres. But as I say, we're on this big tour bus and we just move from place to place. We play Switzerland the day before, then we head off to France afterwards. So unfortunately not. So I was lucky to have the opportunity to explore Milan with my friend Ice, who used to run Transylvania back in the day. And more recently this year, like I say, I was at a friend's wedding and had a few days off staying in Milan, and weather was glorious and we got a chance to explore everywhere. It was really good fun.
Hai menzionato il pubblico italiano, ma secondo te siamo abbastanza coinvolgenti come pubblico?
Yeah, we've always had an affinity with the road crowds, but yeah, we've had some great shows and played some amazing places. I remember once we replaced Marilyn Manson at the Beach Bum Festival, and played with a really weird selection of other bands, including Corner Shop and Asian Dub Foundation. But that was still an amazing time regardless.
Mi sono sempre chiesto una cosa: quanto è importante per voi l'esperienza degli show dal vivo e soprattutto l'aspetto teatrale dei vostri concerti?
Yeah, obviously very important because we just get to we give a sort of physicality to what is the music. People obviously hear the records, and when we, especially on this tour, when we come to play the songs live, we're playing a very mixed selection of tracks from throughout our extensive back catalogue. We're playing our new single, which comes out October the 22nd. We're playing newer material that goes right back to our debut album and fan favourites. We've named the tour by Order of the Dragon because that's our fan club. Order of the Dragon has been since 1996.
Le vostre collaborazioni sono innumerevoli. Avete collaborato con un sacco di media, ad esempio con il film Resident Evil Apocalypse, con il brano Amphetamine Fix, ma anche con i videogiochi. Ad esempio mi viene in mente quel videogioco indie Karma Flow, oppure soprattutto poi Brutal Legend, Rocksmith Plus, ma anche vi è capitato, ho visto anche quello spot su Diablo Immortal. Quello che vi voglio chiedere è: vi piacerebbe contribuire a un'altra colonna sonora prossimamente, magari quella di un videogioco horror?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't turn it down. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a game player myself. I bought a new PlayStation at Christmas. My friend said, "Yeah, buy a new PlayStation. It's amazing. Got great games on it." And we'll hook up and we'll play online. And I've literally played it once. I've been so busy with other things, and I think if I'm going to play anything, I'd rather play the game of life. You know, if the opportunity came to write something for a soundtrack, I mean, obviously worked with Claudio Simonetti from Goblin fame back in the day. Wrote a song with him for the Mother of Tears soundtrack, which was really cool. Really enjoyed that song and that collaboration. All for collaborations, obviously. Just recently did a collaboration with Ed Sheeran, which hasn't been released yet. It's not on the new album, but it will come out at some point soon. And we've got another collaboration coming up shortly. We just did a collaboration with a big fashion house called Vetements as well. We also did one with Drop Dead, which is another fashion house owned by the singer from Bring Me the Horizon, Ollie Sykes. Also did a collaboration with Bring Me the Horizon on a song called One Does Life. So yeah, I'm all for doing weird and wonderful stuff, and the bigger the better, really. I like the challenge.
Negli anni hai esplorato molti temi nella letteratura, nell'arte e nella musica stessa. Dove trovi l'ispirazione ancora oggi per creare qualcosa di nuovo nella tua musica?
Pretty much all those things, inspiration can strike you at any time by exploring the arts. I love films, books, nature, all kind of things.
Quanto è complesso essere un musicista nel 2024 nel bel mezzo dell'era digitale?
It's very hard. There's more bands now than ever. There's a lot of bands that have imitated Cradle of Filth over the years, now being on what is our 14th album. And that doesn't include EPs, bonus material, collaborations, live records. And yeah, it's difficult because obviously streaming is eating up a lot of the money that bands would get. Fortunately, the metal community is very loyal and they like having physical product. So the metal community does tend to buy CDs still and attend concerts and buy merchandise, which of course is the lifeblood of musicians. Without those things, and you know, 'cause like Spotify and what have you, they pay. I mean, we had like 30 million plays or something like that last year, and I got barely any money. Not even worth, you know, barely enough to pay a rent. Well, my mortgage for a month, not even enough for that. For 30 million plays. If I was paid, you know, like even 10 cents per, you know, I'd be very rich. But it is what it is nowadays. So you just have to be clever and your art and, you know, make a living in other ways. Because people seem to forget that you know, if you want your favorite artist to continue great music, they obviously have to make money just like everybody else. It annoys me when people say, hey, why are you making all this money from doing a collaboration with a big fashion house? How dare you? And you're going like, well, you're working, you have a job, you get paid every day. I find that a little bit cheeky when people say that sort of thing to me, which happens a lot.
Quindi immagino che tu ti affidi molto a cose come le edizioni speciali dei CD e il merchandise per i tuoi fan.
Album is just the album and that's it. Last album, people were complaining it was too long because they bought the special edition as opposed to the regular edition. Yes, it was too long because it was a bigger album. So this time we just went, fuck it. We're just going to deliver 9 songs, no intros, no outros, no bonus tracks. But yeah, we do put a lot of effort into everything. Our new video is incredible. We're about 3, I think, maybe 4 before the album drops in April.
Noi ti ringraziamo per la tua disponibilità, ma prima di andare vorremmo conoscere un curioso aneddoto sulla tua carriera. Raccontaci un po'.
I don't know, with so many stories. I still remember getting arrested at the Vatican. That was quite brutal. And we're very lucky to have got away. Basically, Kerrang! Magazine came to interview us and we were playing a big concert somewhere outside of Rome. We had Napalm Death supporting us. I think it was the first show in Italy for the Cruelty and the Beast album. And Kerrang! Magazine had flown out and they had a photographer and interviewer called Jason Arnott. And we drove around Rome for a little bit and then they decided, hey, why don't we go to the square outside the Vatican? That would be a perfect place, and you know there'll be nobody there this time of day. So we took some photos there and what have you. And then suddenly, like the Vatican Guard came out and surrounded us with machine guns. And it didn't help that I was wearing a funny T-shirt that said "I love Satan." Our bass player was wearing a "Jesus is a cunt" T-shirt. Our keyboardist was wearing, because he always wore a priest's outfit, and they were absolutely horrified at the fact that he was wearing a priest's outfit. And it was only because one of the guards was a heavy metal fan and knew we were playing a concert that night, and he convinced the other people not to arrest us. So yeah, we were very lucky. We've had all kinds of weird and wonderful things happen to us all the time. I mean, recently we had our plane diverted in Australia. Almost missed our flight home. We had a bus driver have a heart attack in America while he was driving the bus, and he just managed to steer it to the side of the road while he was like literally having this heart seizure. Our bus suffered. It wasn't a crash; it just broke up in Turkey. Our trailer sort of snapped, and the back of the trailer flew up and hit the back of the bus just where I was sleeping. Like there was a big dent just by my head, which was lucky, really. And subsequently, because of that, we were late going over the Turkish border and had to cancel a show in Greece. And my girlfriend was meeting me the next day in Greece, so I decided for the bus to drop me off at an airport. So I flew down to Athens overnight. So that was all a bit chaotic that evening. But yeah, things like that happen to the band all the time. It's just a weird and wonderful life.
Grazie per il tuo tempo, Dani. Ma prima di andare devo proprio dirlo. Bellissima maglietta quella che stai indossando.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're wearing, yeah.
It's actually on the back of my phone as well. Look, see? He's eating a piece of pizza.
Yes.
And obviously not eating his son as he does in the original.
Bene ragazzi, anche questa video intervista è giunta a termine. Noi vi ringraziamo per la visione, lasciate un like, iscrivetevi con la campanella attiva. Ebbene, è stata una chiacchierata davvero molto interessante. È sempre bello poter avere a che fare con queste personalità di spicco della musica, e non solo ovviamente. Per chi segue la nostra rubrica sa che insomma sono anni che ci occupiamo di tantissimi artisti, ed è bello insomma poterli intervistare e raccogliere delle informazioni, degli aneddoti e via discorrendo. Io ringrazio ancora Gabriele per avermi dato una mano, e ovviamente anche Anna Delia perché si è occupata appunto della traduzione. Un saluto e ci rivediamo presto ad una prossima video intervista. Ciao ragazzi, alla prossima!